telepathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts and life journey. You can call in each week to receive spiritual guidance, personal readings, and we'll answer your questions. We'll talk with luminary experts on meditations, the afterlife, energy healing, past lives, and much more. Join our Seeing Beyond spiritual community to learn more about expanding your mind, body, and soul, and have fun on your journey to empowered transformation.
Hello and welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. This week, Cheryl is out and Jeffrey here so graciously agreed to co-host with me. Thank you, Jeffrey. And I was just on his show earlier, so this is kind of like a double feature as we posted. But I'm excited to have you on my show now. And I was so excited to be on yours. Thank you.
Oh, that was so much fun. And holy cow, did we get into an amazing conversation that was fun.
I love that when it just flows like that and the audience is all involved. That's my favorite when that happens. So
totally.
That was a great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I do want to welcome our guest. If you guys want to put in the comments where you're from and where you're watching us from, like maybe like what state or something. Well, hello, Michael. I believe I saw you earlier too.
Hey, Michael.
And let's see. Oh, thank you. Perfect. So, Cheryl usually does all the talking. Here I am having to be the leader. It's been a while. I'm like, but I'm here. I do want to introduce you to everybody. Jeffrey Peck, he is an evidential medium, but I believe you also, you're holding spiritual retreats and your most recent one just sold out, right?
Yeah. Myself, Kevin Lewis, and Debbie Hedwig. I always say that. Hedberg. Debbie Hedberg. The three of us are doing this together in Sedona in October. And it's almost 50 people sold out in about 6 weeks. So that's in October. And Kevin and I are in talks of planning others.
Yay.
But elsewhere and such. So lots of exciting stuff to come for sure.
Yeah, and maybe Brianna, if you could share his website and people can just sign up for his newsletter so they can hear about your future upcoming, retreats that you're going to be hosting and other events. So
yes, please go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, and and occasionally I send out a blast for volunteers. So
they want to stay on top of that, then for sure.
Yeah.
And I do want to say welcome to Instagram people as well. We don't see your comments in the app, so I have to flip back and forth, but I will be doing that. And we have Cheryl D from New Mexico, music RN Diana from Seattle, Jose. We love you, Jose. He always comes to our shows. He's so sweet. Deborah from, I can't even say that, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I hope I said that right and didn't butcher it. Welcome, guys. I mean, we have Messy Beautiful Soul here in Sacramento.
Aww. Hi, Messy Beautiful Soul.
I love that. I feel like I'm a Messy Beautiful Soul. So I like that. Thank you. And hi again to Tracy and Astrology Happenings and Shenanigans from Illinois. Oh, Tracy is from Scotland, Scotland.
Holy mackerel, Tracy.
Oh, wow, we reached Scotland and Florida. Evelyn from Florida and
Evelyn.
Stephanie said, I'm here, Jeffy Poo Poo.
Oh, Steffi Poo Poo is here.
So welcome, guys. And I do want to ask you a little bit about yourself, and then I think we're going to do some readings. But I don't think we ever did this on our show before with you. So why don't you share with everybody because I love hearing how their journey to their
thing, right? The origin story.
Yeah, what is your story? Tell me.
Well, I didn't grow up seeing spirit from the crib.
I thought you said you didn't grow up. I was
sometimes I don't think I ever did.
Me too.
But no, I did not see spirit in the crib. or that I'm aware of, right? I didn't grow up feeling spiritual, recognizing spiritual anything, For me, it came later in life. In 2006, I became attuned to Reiki, November 11th, 2006, to be exact.
Oh, 11/11.
Yeah. And for me, the side effect was that it literally ignited all of the spiritual senses all at once over that weekend. Kablam.
Wow.
And I was shocked, I guess. I was confused. Oh, really? I had heard of, the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. I've heard of all that.
Yeah.
I love to watch, everything, John Edward on his TV show.
I loved him.
James Van Prague on his TV show. Watching Medium, the TV show with Patricia Arquette.
I used to love that show.
Oh my gosh. I just loved, I couldn't get enough of all of that stuff.
Me too.
And
Sylvia Brown when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Always
Yeah.
on the
We talked
Montel
about earlier.
show. I loved her. Like, no. That was like one word answer, or she was
bless her.
the character.
So yeah, it confused me. It really confused me. And my Reiki master told me at the end of that first weekend, level 1, she said, I have some homework for you. I want you to sit with yourself every day for the next 30 days and give yourself a Reiki treatment. And I want you to allow the energy to teach you. I want you to feel it. I want you to understand it. I want you to start to understand it even more. Work with it. And so I did that in my walk-in closet every day. I'd go in with cards, incense, my little lamp, crystals,
Yeah.
and I would do that. And while I was in there, I started to experience, visions, visions. I would hear things. I would feel things. I would start to see things in my mind's eye that were not my memories, nor were they part of any movies or TV shows that I had ever seen. Things that I absolutely had never experienced before. And I would come out of that every day feeling like, I know I'm not sleeping. There's no way I'm dreaming. I'm sitting upright and my hands are in places around my body, right?
Yeah.
If I fell asleep, I would have tipped over. No, I was not sleeping. So after about 10 days or 2 weeks of that, I went to my Reiki master and I told her what was happening. And she just smiled and she said, you're opening up to spirit.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, what's that mean? And she said, you're going to be a huge channel one day. And I said, no, I'm not. And she goes, yeah, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, yeah, you are. I said, no, I'm not. Well, but back then in 2006, my definition of channel was Abraham Hicks. You know what I mean? Esther Hicks, where she is a trance channel and she stands there while her self is in the back seat and Abraham is speaking out of her face, right?
Yes.
That was my definition of the word channel. And she just smiled and she said, well, I think you need to change your definition of the word channel.
It's not yeah, exactly.
So I did. And then things just started to happen,
And how long ago is that? You said 2006?
2006. So 18 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And I was in Reiki treatments. I hadn't even processed mediumship, that it was even part of me.
Right.
But in Reiki treatments, I'd have people on my table and suddenly
you would see stuff.
Spontaneously, here comes their loved ones in the room with us. And I just knew. And I got to the point where I felt like I had to speak out. And I did. And, I'm giving them evidential mediumship and spontaneously without realizing what I was doing. You know what I mean?
And so did that lead you to developing with the mediumship?
Yes, it took a while. Like it was happening 2000, let's see, 7, 8, 9, even 10. You know what? I'm going to even say even 11. For 5 years, I couldn't buy it. I did not buy that I was a medium. I was like, no, I just must be a good guesser. I just must be a good guesser. It's not me.
Right.
And then, when spirit comes calling and when this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I fall into alignment with my soul. I'm doing what I came here to do now.
Exactly. And it
But
feels
back
good.
then, I just was like, no, it's not me. It's not me. And then, you know, spirit knocks on the door. If you don't answer the front door, they'll go to the back door. If you don't answer the back door, they're going to all your windows around all your house and they're peeking in. And if you're hiding behind the couch saying, nope, shh, we're not here, quiet.
So they're going to do something drastic to get your attention.
Absolutely, they will. And that's what happened. And then I was like, okay.
That's funny. And, you know, that's how I feel about me. Like I just was ignoring it. And then they gave me my youngest child who just forced me into it.
Yes, which we talked about a couple hours ago.
Yeah. So
you know?
that's fascinating. Who did you train with? Or who had you trained with?
Colby Rebel.
Okay.
And then to England at Arthur Finley, you
Oh,
know,
that's
where
amazing.
I studied with Lynn Probert and Chris Drew and
Yes, I
Tony
love them.
Stockwell and
Yes.
Simone Keys and I mean a bunch of them. And I still work with Lynn today. She's my ongoing personal tutor, so to speak.
Lynn who?
Lynn Probert.
Yes, I love her. I think I'm on the wait list to get in her circle.
Yeah.
There's a wait list for it. I've been on it for like a year.
She's fabulous. Yeah.
I know, because I talked to her when I was there last year. I really like her a lot, and I wanted to get in her circle on an online circle. So I'm waiting.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's what happened. And then, you know, as spirit has it, you know, we're guided and we're nudged in the direction that we're supposed to go. And when we start to recognize those synchronicities that just are coming at us from every direction, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives, and suddenly you've got all of this at your fingertips. And when you start to say yes, you know, that's when the magic starts to happen. And it's terrifying for all of us, you know, starting out. It's so scary because, you know, you're learning to use your voice. You're learning to find your voice. And the scariest thing to do is open your mouth, but it's the only thing that you can do when you're looking to find your voice is open your mouth. So, you know, you just go for it. And, you know, you're put in these places with these these teachers, these classes, and where they just hold the space for you. It's safe. It's playful, and you know, and you dare to be wrong, and you just you go for it, and you just start to understand your own faculties. You start to understand and recognize how all of this works on your insides. And the more no's you get, the more you start to recognize what the yeses feel like.
Yes.
You know?
Right?
So yeah.
Do you find that, like, when that first started happening, when you first started the development, that everything sort of felt like, oh, I've been doing this forever, and I just didn't know that's what it was, or that's what it was called?
Yes. Yes. For my whole life, I have been a very, very vivid dreamer. I have had prophetic dreams. Excuse me, prophetic dreams, and I mean, I hadn't really put two and two together, you know. But now I understand why I've struggled with a lifelong anxiety and those extreme visions and dreams. And you know, I was touching spirit so much throughout the first part of my life. I just hadn't realized it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I love your story. Everybody's story is always so, like, individual and unique to them, and it's like we all come to this in our own little way, and it's just amazing to hear them because there's synchronicities in every story. I feel like, okay, the feelings, the emotions that happen, but I also just think sometimes the journeys are just amazing because you can just see, like, the Reiki kind of pushed you towards it, you know? It was like just a stepping stone.
Completely. And it's so fascinating for me to talk with colleagues such as yourself and have a platform like this where we can talk freely and safely and have an amazing community, and everybody here is waking up and woken up and starting to experience their own experiences, and to hear, like you said, everybody's story where, you know, some of us come into it out of trauma, you know, where we lost a really close person like you did, you know, your son, and that catapulted you. And others may have had a, maybe a near-death experience with, a traumatic run with almost losing their life to cancer. And then that pushed them over the edge spiritually. And they're like, oh, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
But there's just so much it's so interesting because it's all as different and there are a lot of parallels.
Yes, that's exactly.
Mhm.
It is 7:17 now. Do you want to do some readings?
Yeah, let's go.
And you good if we bring people backstage so we can bring them online?
Sure.
Okay, so Brianna, you want to share the link? Instagram, there will be a link for you guys if you want to get a reading. You have to come on to StreamYard in the backstage area. It does get full at about 10 people, so if you can't get on, that means we are full backstage, and we will announce when there's openings. Okay, I don't know that we'll be able to get to everybody, but we are going to do our best. I do ask when you come on and we bring you on camera. I noticed that it works better if the camera is off. I just went, I've noticed, I've been doing that on TikTok, but I was reading about it. So keep your camera off, but we can hear your voice. That way, it's going to be a little bit clearer. We're not going to have any of the breakup. Also, I want you to have a specific question if you want psychic reading, like one question, or if you want to hear from a loved one, have that loved one in mind and like say their relationship. For example, if you want a mediumship reading, say, I want to hear from my grandmother on mom's side, or I want to hear from my best friend that was a boy or a guy. Okay, so just those types of things. We want to get to as many people as we can, so we want to keep the flow going. Does that make sense? I hope. I'm like, raise your hands. So we will also be checking the comments on here. The link above. I will. Oh, okay. Brianna's posting that. We also will be checking comments. So if you just want to have a question answered, we'll try to pop back and forth between what the backstage people and the questions. How's that? All right. So I am going to bring Brittany up.
Brittany.
Hello, Brittany.
Hi.
Hi, Brittany.
How can we help you today?
I was just wondering if you might have any messages for me by chance. I'm new
Okay.
to all this and I'm trying to figure it all out.
Well, I'm going to let Jeffrey go. You want to go first, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
So Brittany, there's a lot of shift happening with you right now. There's a lot of unknown that is happening to you right now. There's a whole lot of curiosity and a question about what is happening with you right now. There's a great deal of, well, you're a feeler. You're an empath. You feel people's emotions. You feel rooms. You feel places. You can walk into a room and think, ooh, I don't like it in here. You know that? Brittany?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know that? You know that about
Yes, sir.
yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So your spiritual senses are really starting to come online, kind of like I was talking about earlier with what happened to me. There's a lot that is happening with you right now, and I really want to encourage you to follow your nudges, follow your synchronicities, because if you're not in a class just yet, there is a class that is setting up for you to help guide you through all of these really beginning stages. I want to talk about how you are a natural healer. When I see natural healers in front of me, I see an emerald green cord that goes right through their center, right through all of the chakras. Okay. So you're here to do this work. You're here to do the work. You're here to inspire. You make people feel seen and heard in ways that they might not otherwise. You know how people come and they don't have a problem at all telling you their story?
Yes, sir.
They just like, they love to be in your energy. That's that healing vibe. You're safe. And I really want to encourage you to follow those synchronicities. Find yourself a teacher that feels good, whether it's on Zoom or local. But yeah, you've got some exciting exciting work ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. You're welcome.
I just want to announce that we're full backstage. I know people are trying to get in. When we are finished, if you guys, when you leave the backstage, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, something's in my throat. I'm choking. So when you go backstage, exit out so that someone new could get in, please. Brittany, I felt a lot of the same things as Jeffrey, but I have to say, I feel spirit so strong around you that you're very connected to somebody in the spirit world. Would you understand? And I know you wanted psychic, but I feel like this is part of the psychic reading. I'm just going to say that. Would you understand? Is your mother in spirit, or do you have a? Okay. I feel like she's coming through really trying to help you on this journey because she's always known who you were. I think this is something you've had your whole life. So I do want to say, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Did your mom lose her voice in life? Was there something with her throat?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is spirit. Oh my gosh, they do this to me all the time. Okay, spirit, thank you. So I will leave that as evidence for you that I've got your mom, and hopefully I'll get my voice back now. It was so weird. All of a sudden, it was like I was losing my voice. It was so weird. So she really comes through because I feel like you are on a spiritual journey. You are opening up, and it's a little overwhelming, and you're extra sensitive lately because of it. So not only do all the things he suggested, but maybe start meditating on your own and just sitting in a quiet space by yourself. You could do a guided meditation or just sit quietly in your thoughts and try to clear your mind and journal. I feel like that can be really beneficial in the beginning when we're first developing and learning, okay? But your mom loves you, she's with you, and she's watching over you, and she's helping you on this journey. I know that, like, she's right there next to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Brittany. I mean, put you in the backstage now and get my voice back.
Thanks, Brittany.
All right, bye. Well, that was great. I just felt her mom so strong, and it was so weird how I started losing my voice. I was like, "What is going on?" I was like, that's one thing spirit messes with my voice. I don't know if that happens to you, but
Oh yeah, it's just, yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
if they had an issue with their voice, that's the first thing I lose. I'm like, "Really, spirit? Not today." Let's answer a question in the comments. I do have some people asking. What? That was a weird question. Let's see. I saw a question back here. Nope, I can't find it now. I give up. Okay, so I'm gonna go into these comments. I'm not good at finding the questions when people ask them in the comments. They go so fast, you know. If you want a mediumship reading, please come backstage or try to come backstage if you can. And if you have just a specific question, please ask it in the comments and we could try to answer that. But right now, I don't see a specific question. I just see general questions. So please have a specific question ready if you do come backstage or a specific person you want to hear from in spirit. And I'm going to bring Sophia up. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hi, Sophia.
Good. How are you? So, my question is advice in my love life. I've been through a lot in my romantic relationships, and I want to know if the person that I should be with for my best interest, if I've already met that person, or if there's new energy coming in for me.
Okay, I want to take this one real quick and then I'll let you hop in, Jeffrey, because this is my favorite one is relationships. So I think that you, like you said, you've had some issues in the past with relationships. And I do want to say a lot of that stems from childhood. And I want to go back to like 3, 4, 5, because I feel like there was some disruption in the family at that time. Do you understand this? I just feel there was a lot of, you're a very empathic, sensitive soul. And I feel like as a child, you felt things that maybe other kids maybe didn't notice or feel. And that's where I want to go back to. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So part of the thing too is that because you're an empath, I feel like one of the things you do in relationships is you want to fix everybody.
Yes.
And that's because you're a healer. And also I want to encourage you, you have not met the person quite yet. And if you have, they're not ready right now. That's what
Mm.
I want to tell you. And part of that is because you're not ready. You know, like attracts like. And right now you're in a stage in your life where your journey where you're healing and you're evolving and growing. So right now you're not ready to attract that perfect soulmate connection, because I feel like you need to work on this first and fix everything that you're going through so that you don't repeat the same patterns. And one of the things I feel like you need to work on are your boundaries and what
Agreed.
you will accept and won't accept. So I would encourage you to start writing a journal of all the things you want in a relationship, because that's part of manifesting. And then all the things you will not tolerate in a relationship. And that's going to help you when you do get in a relationship. It's kind of your guidelines, like, oh no, you just did this. That's not acceptable. Because you have to remember, we teach people how to treat us by what we accept. And you're too kind. You're too nice.
Yep.
Until
Yes.
they push
That's
you
it.
too far and then you snap, right?
Yes.
So work on those things. I do feel like you're really close. I do feel like next year is a better year for you for relationships, that you might be dating this year. You might have fun, but I don't think you're going to be like, I'm in love this year. I feel like it's going to be like you meet somebody and you know next year, because you're in such a better place by next year. So are
Okay.
you developing or training or something? Because I do feel like you're very spiritual.
Yes, I've been doing that for quite a few years now,
Okay.
actually, and that's been a great help in just my personal life as well.
Yes. I always tell
Uh,
people you don't have to be a medium to develop. It'll help your life though.
Oh, it really has. And you hit the nail right on the head. The people that are in my life, but I'm not currently in a relationship with, but I've had, romantic interest. Are
Yeah.
these people going to fade away? Are these people that are
Yeah,
not?
as you, it's almost like this thing about it, as you're raising your vibration, you kind of, you're not leaving them behind, but they're not going to be at your same level. You're just kind of going to go your separate ways. That doesn't mean that they won't come back into your life at a later time. Like I said, you haven't met them. They're not ready and you're not ready. So you may have met them, but right now when I tune into you, like there's nobody right now that I see. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean one of these people who might be very special to you, you might rub off on them. That ripple effect. They see your life getting better. They see you're happier. You're following your passions, your dreams. You're working on yourself. And they might start working on themselves because they're inspired by you. And that might end up being your true soulmate. And you inspired them. But I can't see that right now.
I know exactly what you're saying and who you're referring to and what you're
Okay.
saying. So just hope and thank you guys, because those love questions are, ow.
I feel like that's my forte for some reason. I have no idea why.
Maybe because you're a girl in this lifetime, right? It's like a girl thing. It's
I've
like
been on different
sisterhood.
sides or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had a broken picker too, so it took me a while to fix that picker, but I did. And I
I have
think
a broken
we
picker.
can. Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of people do in society. What about you, Jeffrey? Did you get anything?
Oh my gosh.
I know you did.
I second everything you said. First of all, no, you don't know the person.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, no, it's not time yet. Look at this. Look, it's going off. You see this up here? That's my paranormal REM pod.
Oh my gosh! Look at it.
It's
I was
an
doing it earlier.
exclamation point on Spirit. What we're talking about? It's an exclamation point from Spirit.
Yeah.
So no, it's not time yet. It's not time. You're doing such amazing work with yourself, and you're in a growth and healing period right now. There's a feeling like Kelley was talking about in your childhood, and I was kind of touching into that earlier as well. There's this. I wanna just tell a little story and then bring it forward to where you are now.
I love that.
Because when as children, when we experience our traumas and wounds from childhood, however they might look, let's say we're with parents who might not have been super attentive, or we struggle with abandonment issues, betrayal issues, whatever, as children, we subconsciously, it is not conscious, we automatically bring online archetypes for survival and security and safety. And a child going through that type of living, home life, they might bring on the people pleaser. Here comes the people pleaser, because when the people pleaser's online, we are safer. We're pleasing everybody around us because it's safer. You understand what I'm saying? Then that archetype, it serves us in childhood. But what happens is we bring those archetypes into adulthood, and suddenly the people pleaser as an adult turns into a codependent. And this codependent is now struggling and really trying to manage all of the emotions of everybody in their lives. And we abandon ourselves because we feel that this is where we're needed and this is where we're valued. This is our value. This is what we've assigned as our value. When I want to remind you how amazing you are. And you're this period, focus and notice and remind yourself your own worth and what you deserve. And you don't deserve any of that you had in the past. You're all of that. This is giving you a list of what you will not tolerate. And that's the best list in the world to have.
Yes.
Because we know we're clear, right?
Yep.
So, yes. What Kelley said?
What Jeffrey said.
The spiritual work that you're doing, you're growing, you're healing, you're taking your power back. And you're standing in your own power. And that's where you want to be when you attract that like-minded person. Because more than likely, after doing this work for yourself, as like attracts like, you will hopefully will be attracting somebody who's doing their own work, who's recognizing their own spiritual divinity, who's recognizing and seeing it in you as a reflection. And then you grow together.
And you'll recognize each other.
That's ideal, and that sounds absolutely beautiful. And that's what I'm waiting for. This is the first time that I've never had any male attention in a very long time.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Oh yeah, you hang out in that. Love that space because you're so awesome. You don't need that attention. And what you're worth is having that equal match, that equal connection.
A partner. It's a partnership.
Thank you guys. That was beautiful. Very inspiring.
Well, I'm glad. Ask me any relationship questions. That's my favorite.
Yeah, same. I have girlfriends calling me all day long,
Right?
about heartbreak. And I'm like, I get it.
You help others, but you couldn't help yourself. That's how I was.
Yeah.
I was always giving everybody else advice, but not listening to myself.
Oh yeah. It's so easy. But when it comes to you, it's like I make excuses for everyone. But he had a bad childhood, but he has a good heart. But he has many wonderful qualities.
Justifying these things, and you can't do that. It just doesn't work.
Oh, those red flags, we have to remember they are red flags for a reason, and we are not at Disneyland.
That's why I say make the list. Make the list and carry it with you. I
haven't done that, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. Start tonight.
By writing what you want, what you think you need, what you want, and what you cannot tolerate or put up with. It helps you when somebody kind of steps over those boundaries. And you remind yourself, look at that list, It's like keep it with you, like carry it with you, add to it. You know what I mean? Well, I wish you the best.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
All right. I'm going to put you backstage.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sophia. And you know what, Kelley, I wanted to say quickly, Joy made a message. It's a good one for her too. She's going to do that list too. So I just wanted to remind everybody that, if you don't get chosen for a reading and you're listening to us talk to somebody else, but it's pinging you on your insides and you like feel that spiritual move, you feel the chili bumps, you feel, you're here for a reason. And that synchronistically, you are meant to hear those messages that vibe with you like that. Yeah.
So, I'm going to bring Laura F up in a minute, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have one spot opened up in the backstage. So if you want to, been trying to get in, now's the time. I'm just going to announce it when they drop out, and that way you can get in. And I'm going to bring Laura F up right now. Hi, Laura. How can we help you?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Laura.
Great. How are you?
Good. So I have a question. It's kind of a difficult one. It's something that's kind of been hanging over me for years that I've wondered about.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you guys could maybe tap in and let me know if back in 2017 there was a night where there was a lot of drinking involved and a blackout happened, and I don't know if I was assaulted or not while I was blacked out.
So you were with a group of people.
Yeah.
And they were pretty good friends, most of them, but some that you didn't know, correct?
Yes, I knew most of them. There were other people kind of around that I didn't know too well.
Exactly. Like you knew him, but you didn't really know him.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like when I tune in, like it's really hard to say because I think your soul's blocked out whatever happened for a reason. But I also don't, I want to say I'm torn. Okay. I want to say no, it didn't happen, but like part of me is like going, no, that's not true. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do feel like there's possibly something happened, but I actually feel like somebody came to your rescue or somebody stopped it from happening. That's what I feel like. I feel like somebody stood up for you.
That's what I was going to say, Kelley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really kind of like it's like this weird vibe I'm getting about it. It's almost like your soul doesn't even want you to think about it
Yeah.
because it's fine. You're good. I just
Yeah.
think that somebody stepped over some boundaries and somebody stopped them.
That's it. That's what it feels like to me
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
the like how I was feeling, I felt this no, but then I felt this, well, yeah, somebody crossed some boundaries. Then I felt this no, and then I felt no,
Yeah,
but I felt like I was touched in
Yeah.
ways that I shouldn't have been. So I think it's both and. I think that there was somebody out of their mind going a little bit too far, and somebody stepped in. That's what it feels like to me as well. Like I basically, like, without being too graphic, I don't feel like it went that far, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that definitely gives me a lot of relief. Truly in my soul and my gut, I feel like I was drugged by people that I knew really well. We were in a very weird space. It was a very weird night. We were kind of trying to rekindle a friendship that was severely broken.
Yeah.
But I feel like they had a vendetta against me and were trying to put me in a bad space. There was just a lot of mistrust and a lot of questions after that night.
Yeah.
And it has just stuck with me and just been really heavy.
Well, I'm sorry about that. That's terrible. But I want to say, you know, focus on like the positive things about yourself and not let that like pull you down, you know, because that's not going to define who you are or you know everything. I have been drugged before at the bar twice by a stranger one time and by the bartender another time.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, and it was pretty scary, and I was very sick from it, and I hardly drank anything. That's how I know I was drugged, and I was doing things that I would never do. I don't recall it all, but my friend realized and grabbed me and took me home right away. So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes we have to be alert, especially as women, of like who we allow in our space and who we're going to allow ourselves to be vulnerable around, unfortunately.
Right. Right.
Yeah, Laura, and I really want to encourage you as well to um give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Don't sit with that shame and that guilt and, if I wouldn't have done this or I shouldn't have done that, or you know what I'm saying, to dwell on all of that is just holding us back in that energy. And yeah, you're whole. You're
Mm,
whole.
you're
And
fine.
now, oh, you have that awareness, so you're more than careful,
Yeah.
from here on out. But more than that, just be kind with yourself, and yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you guys.
yeah, totally. I wish you the best, and I'm sorry that that happened, and I'm sorry that has happened to many women.
Ah,
You know,
Yes.
it's and probably
Tremendous.
men as well, but I mean, it's I know, I mean, I can't tell you how many friends that that's happened to, and it's just sad.
Yeah. It really is scary how often it happens and people don't really even realize.
Or talk about it.
Yeah.
They have shame about it when really it's like, why would you ever expect that to happen to you?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Especially around people that you once knew so well and loved so much and
Yeah,
trusted
but
so much. So,
that doesn't yeah, it doesn't mean much anymore, like, you have to really kind of tune into them. Well, I wish you the best, Laura. I'm gonna put you back and
thank
bring
you
someone
guys.
else
Thank you,
up.
Laura.
You. Alright. Jeffrey, you're fading out here. It's like you have a spirit fog all around
Yeah,
you. What is going on? Oh, is it the light?
It's probably the sun. Let me close my blind.
Well, it just looks like there's spirit all around you, a little spirit fog.
I mean, that could be it too. I mean,
I think it's a spirit fog. I don't think it's the light. Maybe it is. Okay, it's the light. Okay, it was the light. I was excited. I was like, you've got a fog around you.
I mean, it was kind of pretty.
It was. Yeah. I was like, wow, I think he's got like a buildup of spirit in there. Because, they make that fog, you can see that when I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. All right. So that was great. And some people are still trying to get backstage. I'm not sure why you couldn't get back, Susan. It should have let you back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Oh, we're full now. But I had 2 spots and 2 people just filled them just now. So sorry about that, Susan, but I'll announce when we have more openings in the backstage. And there was a couple questions in the comment. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Rosemarie Wright, what is going on with my health? What is causing my constant ringing in my head and heat in my head and neck? It makes life so difficult, please. And I'm going to put that up there. I instantly feel drawn to some kind of an illness that's going on with you that's been undiagnosed. I don't know. That's what I'm going right to. Not like something horrible. It almost feels like, what would you call it? When you travel out of the country and you come home with a friend? Like a virus or, something. I call it a friend.
You mean like an attachment?
Well, like, I don't want to say.
You mean like Montezuma's Revenge?
Yes, something like that. But it's like mild. It's not like the kind that affects your stomach. I just feel like a parasite. That's the word. There's some sort of a parasite that might be affecting your health. So maybe if you can get some testing done with your doctor or go see a naturopath doctor as well and maybe do some things. We'll just see what they prescribe because I do feel like it's something that can be fixed. I don't feel like it's something that is going to be that you can't get rid of it. I feel like you can get rid of it. That's what I'm going to say. It's just not flowing out of my mouth correctly today. I don't know what's going on here. But what do you feel, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I feel like it's that. I think it's both and. I think that I feel like that there is okay, no, I'm not a doctor, just gotta say. Just FYI reminder. But here's the thing. It does feel physical to me. I do feel physical. It doesn't feel like anything we have to worry about, like Kelley was saying. But I feel like too that it's also that, but also spirit getting your attention. There's this feeling of your own spirit team, like that ringing of the ears when the high self, when you're downloading spiritual downloads, information, it's common to feel the ringing in the ear, to hear that ringing. For me, it happens in my right ear. And I feel like it's both. I feel like you've got both things going on. You're increasing your vibration, you're increasing your frequency, you're getting closer and closer to recognizing that much more spiritual connection, understanding how it works within you. But at the same time, I feel like it's also spirit's message for you to go have it looked at.
Yeah, that I wish you the best. I know everyone's laughing at me because I was like, you brought up a visitor's come with you. I didn't know I couldn't get the word out. Sometimes when you know the word, but
yeah, your friend, you come in with a friend.
I'm like, okay, Kelley, this is not coming out well. This isn't going well. That's what happens when you hit menopause. Like your words don't come out of your head the right way. So sorry, guys.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah, Evan says, I thought you meant attachment. Yeah, I thought that too. Like, well.
So Rosemarie got back to us. She said, I've done all kinds of blood work and it's normal. They say it's my nerves. What kind of parasite do you think it is? My nerves are so overactive. I just feel like I don't know, can a tick cause that? You know, I don't know why, but I feel like it's something like that bit you and it gave you some kind of a little virus that they're not looking for it, they're not gonna find it. I mean, how often do you hear somebody say, like, they got bit by a tick and it took, like, 20 years for them to figure out what was causing all these problems? So maybe, did this happen shortly after a camping or a hiking, adventure? That's where I'm feeling. Lyme disease, yes, thank you, Sue. Everybody knows they're working for my brain here. Thank you, Sue. Um, for some reason, my words are not coming out well today, guys, sorry. Usually they just come out and I don't even know what I'm saying, but today I can't even get anything out. But, I hope that helps. I'm gonna leave you with that, Rosemary, and let us know in the comments, if that's been going on for about 6 years. Yeah, I I would get checked out for Lyme disease. I don't know anything about Lyme disease, but for whatever reason, I feel like it's something like that. Okay? Um, thank you, Sue, for the help too. I'm gonna leave that with you, Rosemary, and let's bring Anne Marie back. And where are we at?
Anne Marie.
We are doing great. Hi,
Hello.
Marie.
Hi, Anne Marie.
What
You
can we help
guys
you
work
with?
so well together.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
It's like a
you.
positive space full of love and light. I just love it.
Oh, and that's my favorite saying, love and light.
That's what you guys are creating. I love it.
Well, thank you.
Anything pop up just in general or over career?
Over your career. You wanna start, Jeffrey? Or you want me to start?
Uh, you get started. I
Okay.
feel like there's a shift. I'm not quite sure where it is yet, though,
Okay.
and I don't want to sit here in silence.
So, Anne Marie, I feel like you're a healer. Are you a healer?
I n- I n- I
Well, let me
no, not
rephrase that.
professional.
Let me rephrase it. I feel like you are a healer, but perhaps you're not doing like Reiki or energy healing work. But I do
Mhm.
think that you do work where you're helping others because you're a natural born healer. Do you understand that being in a field where you're helping others?
Yes.
Okay. It feels like where you're at right now isn't where you wanna be. I feel like you're being held back or, there's, like, not a lot of room for you to move forward. It's almost like it's not the right environment for you. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So I do think that you've been manifesting or, putting in the work to find something new. You've been pushing yourself to kinda look for, a new, you know, career or a new job or a new something. And I think that that work is coming to it's like coming to fruition because I do think that there's going to be some opportunities coming here by the end of this year, but
Good.
you might hear about them sooner, but I don't feel like the transition or the change happens till the end of this year, beginning of next year. I do think you're going to be heading in a better direction, doing more of what you want. I also feel like, and I have to say this, that you're probably not going to like this because I feel like you're not, that there's gonna be some more schooling involved. So I don't know if it's like a class or a workshop, but there is some more, learning involved is what I hear. Do you understand something like this happening?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you are on the right path. Just keep working towards your goals of what you want because it's gonna happen and you are putting in the work and I see it happening. I just want you to know that. So I do feel though like where you're at right now and your job is not the right job. It's not going the way you want, and so you're creating what you want, and that's a good thing. Okay?
Okay.
What
Yes.
about you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, so, when I see a change happening with somebody, I see, for me personally, I don't know why I see it like this, but I see orange on the left side.
Ooh,
And that orange tells me that there is a shift. There's a shift happening and a move swirling around your energetic field, okay?
Mhm.
And with regard to that, I feel this sense of would I be right in saying that you've been unhappy with this for a while now? Anne Marie?
Yes, you cut out. Sorry. What'd you
Oh,
say, honey?
would I be right in saying that you've been unhappy with this for a while now?
Just struggle.
Okay. And would I also be right in saying that like sometimes we get to a place where familiarity in
Mhm.
the existing place is more
Mhm.
comfortable
Mhm.
than stepping
Mhm.
outside of our comfort zone. Do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, that's what it feels like to me, but I want to encourage you to really like start putting this out there. It's kind of like when we talk about a relationship. We're in a relationship that we know is no longer working, but we're comfortable because we know it so well. Even though it sucks, we'd rather be here because it's more comfortable than the unknown. All right. So I want to encourage you to really consciously start putting it out there. Put that energy out there. Find that excitement on your inside. When you think about finding the job of your dreams, you can feel that pilot light on your inside. When you feel that pilot light, that's the excitement. That's when it starts to grow. Like Kelley was talking about this other training. I was feeling like there was a little bit of more of that coming soon as well. But this is taking you to, you're leveling up. Okay. So I want you to think about that, and I want you to feel how that feels on your insides, because that's how you will attract that next position. I don't know if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, but Abraham Hicks used to talk about getting into your vortex, and it's very similar to that. And Kelley was also talking about towards the end of the year. I was feeling like something happening over the summer, like you were talking about, Kelley, like you might know about it sooner, but it's going to take towards the end of the year to actually move through. So there is a feeling too, like when I feel into your energetic field and what is in the probable potentiality for you, it feels very exciting. It feels very exciting.
Thank you, honey. That's all. That's wonderful.
Well, I wish you the best, Anne Marie, on your journey.
Thank you, honeys. Thank you, and bless you, and you too. You both too.
Thank you. I'm going to put you backstage, okay?
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye.
Right. Well, that was great. It's interesting, the energy right now, for some reason, and I think it's because Spirit's with me, I'm tongue-tied. Sometimes that happens with, I'm like feeling Spirit, but trying to go psychic with people.
I understand that. Yep. I completely understand that.
And it's like, wait a minute, Spirit, I'm not ready. So I'm wondering if like the next reading or the second one after that is a mediumship reading and their loved ones like showing up early because they know they're backstage. So let's bring Katie up. Hi, Katie. How can we help you today? I think you have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. I've been like waking up, getting woke up, and I've been seeing things, and I feel like I'm going crazy because it goes away so fast that I'm like, did I really just see that? And a lot of things have been like scaring me lately, and like I'd get like smacked on my foot. I'll be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden somebody smacks my foot, and it's not a little tap, it's a pretty good smack. And I just don't know what's going on.
Well, I feel right off the bat that you've always been connected or felt like sensitive to spirit and energy and things like that since you were a kid. Do you understand this?
Yes.
And I also think that you're super intuitive, but you like to ignore your intuition, or you like to listen to logic rather than intuition because it doesn't always make sense. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And you have children, correct?
I have lots of many children, but yes, I do have one.
Okay. I feel like your child is very spiritual as well, and there's a push for you to really kind of learn more about your gifts and get more involved with it to use this and help your child. Because
Okay.
I do think that you're on a journey and you've been ignoring it, and you've had lots of vivid dreams that you've been either don't remember or choosing to not like tune into. Do you understand this?
I dream every night.
Yeah, and they're trying to get a hold of you. Like Spirit's been knocking at your door, like you said earlier, and you're not listening. So now they're going to tap your feet. You know, my dad used to yell my name. He's in spirit because I wouldn't listen, and I knew he was there and in my dream, and I was ignoring him. And he'd be like, "Kelley," really loud, and I'd wake up and I'd yell at my husband because I thought he yelled at me. But they do whatever they can to get through to us, and you know, I wasn't listening, and I finally started listening, and that stopped. Right. So
Yeah,
I used to get poked a lot as a kid because I was always talking to Spirit, and then if I wasn't paying attention, they'd poke me in bed. Not hard or
Okay.
anything, but it was
Yeah,
pretty significant.
I'm having like weird little things too. Like when I wake up, I see like a mist,
Hmm.
like in a little spot. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, what is that? And it makes me feel like I'm going crazy a little bit because it's like not. I've seen like somebody, a child in my bed twice,
Yes. Let me
and
just
I
wait 1 second, Jeffrey. Somebody on your Facebook, it says, is trying to post their WhatsApp number for people. I don't know if it's a
Ooh,
scammer,
that is.
but I tried to delete, but I couldn't. And I tried to block, and it said that it's on your the guest destination, so you have
Okay.
to do that. So I just want to give you a
Oh,
heads up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you. Go ahead. Sorry
Sorry.
about
Go ahead,
that.
Katie. We just got to
oh,
take care of the scammers.
I just feel like it. Like I'll even have like where it's like I wake up and I feel like something's straight in my face, and it scares me really, really bad. And then I'm fine. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like
Well, that happens too. That happens a lot to used to happen to my sister.
Mhm.
I've had that happen to myself. And a lot of times, and this is going to sound weird, but like our own fears could get involved. But
Mhm.
also when your clairvoyant is coming in, like I've always been clairvoyant, but when I started developing, all of a sudden spirit would do this. They'd be like, like a nice distance from me in my view, right? When I'm closed my eyes. But
Right.
then all of a sudden they'd be like right there and like in
Okay,
my
that's what
close.
it feels like. It feels like
And so
something
feel
straight in
free
my face.
just feel free to tell spirit back up. Like
I have
I'm
been.
not close.
I
But
have been.
you have to set that intention and boundaries with them. You have to teach them how to work with you. They're trying to work with you.
And like I'll scream in the middle of the night sometimes because it's just my reaction. I have
Yeah.
trauma from when I was young,
Yeah.
and my son will be like, "Are you okay?" And I like don't want to tell him like I just saw somebody come out of the closet. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
You
okay.
gotta get rid of the fear. The fear is what's causing you not being able to fully connect and control it because you're letting the fear take over. Fear is a
Okay.
very powerful energy,
Yes.
and it can cause a lot of blocks and it can cause a lot of like things like this to happen. I knew because I had a lot of fear about it when I was younger. And I used to see like faces like that scared me as well. But
Right.
they were
I
just
just have
trying to get
never. I've
rid of
always had something, but I've never had it like. I've always asked not to see it. Really,
but
I
yeah,
feel
they're,
I can,
yeah, they're stepping in and saying, "No, you
and
need
I'm
to
seeing it
embrace
now.
this." Yeah,
Okay.
because your child needs an understanding. You're here to help your child as well as yourself, and it's a journey of healing is what I hear for you, okay?
Right. Okay.
They're trying to help
Okay.
you.
100%. Katie, you're there. It's spirit getting your attention. I have experienced this many times where in my development after 2006, like you heard me talk, I would wake up in the night and I would see like what I suppose you'd see on TV. They're talking about shadow people. Saw
Right.
a shadow person. And I looked at it and I just thought, oh, thank you for being here. Going back to sleep.
Right.
And with that energy where we know we're protected, we know we're covered, we know we can't be harmed, that it's like, okay, we've got all these helpers that just want to swing by and say hello. So I just want to say too, like, I haven't been pulling cards all night long, but right when you came on, the card that I pulled for you is the channeler. You are absolutely 100% dialed in and connected, and you have been avoiding it. This is spirit, like I said earlier, they come to your front door. If you don't answer it, they go to your back door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
I'm so tired all the time. I just feel completely drained.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I feel like somebody's trying to tell me something too, though. I feel like I don't know. I just felt like somebody's trying to tell me something, but I can't figure out how to hear it.
The second card
Angels.
for you is reminding you that you are protected by your angels. Okay.
Thank you.
So I want you, I really want to encourage you to talk to your guides, talk to your guardians, like Kevin just said, replace the fear with curiosity, and tell your spirit team you're ready to start looking at this from a curious point of view. You're ready to start understanding what all this means for you. And because like Kelley was saying, your little one is going to be leaning on you and toward you to be able to guide and foster this very natural part of every single one of us.
Yeah, he has always had it ever since he was born, and it was when I had most going on with me was when I was pregnant with him. Somebody was watching over him. I've lost so many babies. He's the only one that made it.
Yeah,
So I feel like something is attached to him too. So I get what you're saying.
you know, and I'm gonna just show this to you because you just said this, and I like to tell people this that so my mom had like I don't know like 10, 11, 12 pregnancies, 6 live
That's me.
births, and I watched all my siblings be born from the spirit world. I remember everything, and I remember being born. I also remember that I was 3 miscarriages of of her pregnancies because I kept changing my mind about coming here.
Right.
So perhaps he's such a spiritual being, your child, he kept changing his mind as well, like I did. And
Well,
finally decided,
he made it. I lost a couple babies before him, but after him, it's been at least 10 or 11. So I just feel like there's something going on. So I don't know.
yeah, it's hard to say, but he was meant to be here,
Yes. Yes.
and maybe somebody else is trying to come, but they're afraid. I think a lot of times
Right.
miscarriages aren't our fault. I never think that, but I
Right.
do think that spirit, it's a soul's decision not to come after they decided, and then they decide not to for whatever
Right.
reason. Maybe it's not the right time.
Okay. Well, thank you because I feel like I'm not going crazy now.
Oh,
You're
you're
not
not.
going
Mm-mm.
crazy. Mm-mm. No, and the
Okay. Thank
angels
you.
are very connected to you and your child. So,
Good.
remember that and call upon them. I'm always talking to my angels and difficult times when finances are tough or whatever's going on, health issues. I talk to the angels and I tell you, good things always come. So I want you to encourage you to keep talking to them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
This is thank you. I'm gonna put you backstage,
Thanks,
Kate.
Katie.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is my husband all night. He's been sending me random messages. Thank you, dear. I will pick up candy on my way home.
uh,
Um, I'm like, oh my gosh, stop it, Paul. He's messing with me.
I understand that. I have a cabbage patch, a sour patch kid, cabbage patch kid. Where? What? I just dated myself.
Cabbage Patch. That would be a gross candy.
Honey, stop and pick up a cabbage patch kid on your way home.
Yeah. So I do feel bad because we have all these people backstage. It is 8 o'clock and we do have to go, you guys. Like I said, I was going to try to get to everybody, but we can't. I do apologize, but I want to tell you, come back next week and we will do whoever I'm working with. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be Cheryl yet or not, but whoever I'm working with, we will do more readings next week. So show back up next week and we will do that. I promise. And I have been going live on TikTok with another medium friend. And I'm going to be doing that more because I'm practicing TikTok. So if any of you are on TikTok, look for my lives. I'm not going to announce them. I'm just going to be going live at random times of the day, like whenever I have a moment. So look for that and see if you see me. And I will be doing readings there as well. And they're free. Um, so thank you everybody for coming and supporting us. Thank you, Jeffrey, for
Thank
being
you.
a guest host at the like drop of a hat, like with like 1 day's notice. I appreciate you.
Oh, anytime.
And I hope to see you guys all next week. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'm going to leave you all with that. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.